Welcome.
What's up, BTN family? I'm here with
Mama Duke. Sherry's in the house.
and the one, the only favorite. And we introducing a very special guest. Your name is?
Brandi.
Okay. And would you like to disclose something about?
Brandi's a trailblazer, and she's manifesting really a lot of things. She's doing a lot of things for the community, for her family. She's a true trailblazer. She's beautiful, a beautiful spirited woman. And I just love everything that I've seen, like in the work that she's done through my research. So where are you exactly located?
I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, here in the United States. And I currently live in a townhome with my husband and 2 daughters. And we have a back patio, and I just decided to start a garden. And my lifestyle channel is Stay Forever True. And I basically like just to show that you can just be who you are, doing what you do, and just showcase it to random people on the internet.
That's right.
And you will attract your tribe. So that's what we're doing right here. And that's pretty much what I want to show is that you can have the lifestyle of eating well, of sustainability, of meditating, of all these things, and be a regular person. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to be young with no kids, living out of a van, which sounds great. But I just wanted to showcase that you can just be yourself and elevate.
And it's true. You actually, from your videos, you debunked a lot of things. A lot of people come up with excuses. The biggest step is just to start. And like you said, even in your environment where you're living, you already manifested a garden, so no one can come up with excuses, and we have to control our narrative as far as what we're eating, what's going in our foods, and just doing, positive, good things. And it's great that you have your children involved in it as well. I saw a video and I said, she's just adorable. Yeah.
Amazing.
And that inspired me too. And that will go far because now you're setting the foundation, and she'll go even farther, even with like medicinal herbs or, just anything, she'll go farther. So that's another thing that we loved as far as when we were researching.
Also, my body had to take a quick pause real quick. I'm back.
It's okay.
All right, so I want to ask, what inspired you, what motivated you to start gardening?
Can you say it again?
Okay, bet.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to ask, what or who motivated you to start gardening?
Okay, that's a really interesting question. So both of my grandmothers, my maternal grandmother and great grandmother, both passed away before I could even know who they were. And then my father, my fraternal mother, she passed away when I was younger too. And everybody had a garden. I even remember my mom said when I was younger, she kept saying this. She said, your grandmother, which was her grandmother, told her that she left her husband on the railroad. He was on the railroad, so they would go from state to state. She left him because she wanted a garden.
Wow.
She had 3 children, and this was back in the day, Great Depression. And she said, I want a garden. I want stability, and this is what I want, And to me, during the whole situation that we had here in the States, that it was so much panic. It was so much panic, and it was just a lot going on. I'm a nurse as well. And I started meditating, and then I was like, I'm done. I'm going to start this garden. And everything happened. I started getting supplies from people, free stuff. My mom found randomly free stuff. Everything just came to me, and I just sat back one day and looked at everything. I said, this is my ancestors.
Yes.
This wasn't I was just a little vessel, but they because it's so crazy, because I didn't know, I just was doing stuff.
Yeah. I
would just watch a video here and there and just start it. And then I'd be like, that doesn't look right. I'll put it in another container. And it was just so intrinsic. And I was like, I was used. So my ancestors, that's who inspired me.
Yes, it's in your DNA of being a trailblazer. Seriously. My mom, she ascended several years ago, and she was a nurse. So I know how, yes. And my elder sister, she's a nurse as well. So I know you guys have healing energy, and you have I know, but that's amazing. That's an amazing story that even back then your ancestors knew, that this was the way. And now all this time now, and we're reverting back to where we begun to a certain extent. Isn't that crazy?
It's beautiful because when I look at something like plants, think about it. They produce seeds, right?
Yes.
And these seeds keep producing more plants. We're basically just using the same plants that our ancestors used at one point, literally, like this could be the same exact seed of some tomato plant that was planted, however many years ago. It's a beautiful thing when you look at the cycle of life. Like gardening is just amazing.
It is.
Everybody to do it.
That's what we're here. People have to do it. I mean, and then you're eating a lot of life. You're eating life, and you're doing things for the environment, and you're doing everything for aligning yourself, internally. So everyone needs to do it. They need to do it not only for themselves, the environment, and their families, their children, because a lot of the food they're eating, this processed food, it's toxic. And you really don't know what they're putting in there. But when you grow your own and you learn about it and you know exactly what's going in there, and your body becomes more aligned. And it's also a spiritual thing as well, dealing with the environment and with nature. So it is definitely a beautiful thing.
My heart is a little warm from that story.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nah, seriously. From your ancestors using you as a vessel, that's similar, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does a little. Yeah.
It happens. Trust me.
I'm seeing it live.
Yeah.
Okay, so, wow. Well, I gotta process this real quick. My heart is still it's beating a little.
I can just keep talking now.
Flow with it. See, what did you start with? What type of tools did you start with? What type of containers? Like if someone lives in the same environment that you're living in, what do you suggest they should start out with?
So first, of course, use the internet. There's so many resources, YouTube, all that. It can become overwhelming.
Yes.
It can become overwhelming, but I would say when you're planning on what you want to eat, grow what you eat. So many people will be like, I want to grow tomatoes. And they're like, I don't eat tomatoes.
Yes, that's right. It's true.
It's like, where are you growing tomatoes? So think about what you want to eat. Just maybe start with 5 things. Start with herbs, because you can do herbs indoors.
Right.
And then that's just like a basic beginning. Mm-hmm. Look on Facebook groups in your area, because that'll let you know what you can grow in your area. Yeah, and you can get some inspiration, and people in your area will be like, hey, they'll take a random picture at a farmer's market and be like, hey, they got soil over here for $5 a bag. And
right.
it's all local. Or right. I put stuff on there one day. I was like, does anybody know where I can get tomato steaks? And this person gave me a huge roll of tomato, what is it called? Chicken wire. That I turned it into a cage for tomatoes.
Wow.
All I had to do is just go by her house and pick it up. So engage with people. People in the gardening community are phenomenal. They're so nice. And it's just this abundant energy, because I have a lot of plants. I planted this, and I got 4 tomato plants. I can't do anything with this. Here you go.
Right.
And so definitely do Facebook groups if you're into that. Reach out to people in your community and just start small and build up. But just a practical, like I can tell you one practical thing, whatever you're growing, you need to look up what size container, because I do container gardening. So if you're doing that, and don't be afraid, like container gardening is a great way to start. It's really is like super easy. But look and see what size container you need for that. Because you would think, okay, one broccoli, it's not going to get that big. But when you look at it, broccoli gets huge and the leaves get really huge. It has to be in a container by itself. So that's just a little practical tool. But basically, like we said before, you have to take action. Yeah. Because once you take action, everybody going to be like, oh, she needs me. He needs me. And this is going to all come together. I'm telling you, it just all comes together. It's so amazing.
It is. It's a beautiful life. And what are the 3 things? What are the things that, like mistakes you've made in gardening that you had to learn from? And I always tell people that no matter what you do, mistakes are all purposeful. You just have to take the positivity and learn. If something doesn't grow right this way, then you just alter it and you just learn and do it. But what are the maybe one to three things that maybe you started out that were errors that you think that you learned from?
So piggybacking off of what I just said, container size. That's the one thing I could just say off the bat that I was just like, I didn't realize, because you just get your food.
Right.
You just have food. So you don't really see it in the wild,
Right.
So to really, that was my biggest thing, was container size. My next mistake, I would say, is I waited too long.
Oh.
I should have started a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I actually did start a garden, like maybe when we first moved into this place, maybe like over 4 years ago. Okay. And it just didn't work out. And I was like, this isn't for me. So that's a mistake, is just giving up.
Yeah.
Just giving up on it. Just do research. It's a science to everything. Everything is, in a way, teachable.
Yes.
And it doesn't take a lot. Just look it up. There's so many. If you have a phone, you have one of the best freaking resources here on earth right now.
You're right.
So definitely container size, starting too late, and then getting discouraged if things, don't go your way. You learn so much from gardening. It sounds cheesy, but it teaches you patience, delayed gratification, which that's a whole other video, y'all.
Yeah.
But it teaches you delay, because you're not going to be able to eat that, apple. It's just like, you're going to be able to eat it. It's going to take a minute for you to be able to eat that apple. Yeah. So it teaches you delayed gratification and just paying attention to detail. Like, gardening is just, it's an overall good thing. So
those are excellent points.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, bet, my fault. I got a little. Wow. So let's see where we're gonna start first. Okay, so what's like some advice or inspiring words that you would give to a gardener that's just starting out, or like to get rid of the excuses that they made over, because they should start right now, but the excuses that they continuously come up saying, I can't do this, or I can't do like this and that and such and such. So what would you say?
For me, whenever I find myself being in a position where I feel like I can't do anything, I try to get inspiration. So, and when I say inspiration, Pinterest, stuff like that, YouTube, Instagram. But when you get the inspiration, don't look at it like, oh my gosh, I wish one day I could do that. Right. Like, don't, because that person didn't start off like that.
Right.
Whatever they're doing, it didn't start off like that. And so just get inspiration, because it just gets you like inspired. It makes you excited about it. But change your viewpoint when you see someone doing something in general in life that you want to do or you aspire to do. You have to look at, don't put them on a pedestal. Don't put whatever you're doing on a pedestal. Everything can be broken down to the foundation, and you just build up from it. Yeah. So the foundation is, you take a seed, you put it in some dirt, and you put it outside. Make sure it's wet.
Yeah.
That's the basic thing,
I like that one.
That was amazing, sis.
Yeah, definitely.
So just start there.
So are there any other projects that you're working on? Are you doing anything in the community, or are there any other projects that outside of gardening that you're working on, or that you do?
I actually am. I haven't really told anybody, but I guess I'll tell y'all. So just put this out there for me, okay? Put this out there in the ethers. So I've been doing a lot on the internet, and I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to take this show on the road. So I am looking to buy a shuttle bus and convert it into like a mini metaphysical shop. Plan on selling books, plants, crystals, herbs, maybe a few little vegan snacks that a local bakery made or something like that, and just travel, meet local artisans, hopefully do interviews like this with locals and what they're doing, business owners, put some of their items on my YouTube channel, on the bus and all this. So that's really where I see myself going, is being mobile, like really connecting with people, collaborating. I'm here for my tribe. Like, honestly, I didn't really know, because I just graduated from another nursing program.
I know. Congrats.
I was like, I'm going to take the rest of the year off. And I'm focusing on what I think is the most important thing. I did my education. I got my title. So if anything happened, I got my title. You know, I took care of that. Now it's time for me to experience.
Right.
Everything that I know, I have a lot of knowledge. It's time for me to experience it, share it, and also for me to grow and to be afraid again, you know, and to put myself in an uncomfortable situation. So that's what I'm working on next. So put it out there for me, y'all. Help me to make
so we're claiming it. It's already done. That would be awesome. And to collaborate. And even people that, you know, we do interviews with, definitely, you know, I'll connect. Our first Trailblazer, her vibe is just amazing like yours. So if you go to the Hudson, New York area, I would love for y'all to connect. Yeah,
Really, New York is on my list. I used to live in New York.
She is.
So New York's on my
She's
list.
in upstate, and I mean, you would love her. Like, seriously.
Really?
Yeah, I would connect so.
Yeah. But so I'll definitely, you know, anybody that I, you know, come across, I'll definitely, or interview, I'll send it your way. You know, that's what a tribe does. We support each other. You know, we speak life into everything that we do. So I'm speaking life into what you're manifesting, and I know and claim that it is. So with that.
So anything else you want to add to, or?
Yes.
Did you all want to see what we have in the garden right now?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. This is my neighbor's patio. This is my patio. And we actually scaled back. If you can see any of the little patchy parts, that was us. We took over last year. But this year, I actually scaled it back and started planting more medicinal herbs. So it's so interesting that you brought that up earlier. Yeah. Like right here, I have some echinacea.
Wow.
My chamomile, which the sun has really been putting her out, but I need to get some of these off. This is actually mugwort. I love the back of it. It's so pretty. The color, the contrast. This is mugwort. So good for your third eye, for sleeping. It's a beautiful herb. It's beautiful. This is, what do you call that? Citronella. And it's already blooming. You know, it helps to keep the mosquitoes away. We got some mint, but she looking a little sad, but it's okay. You know, mint grows like weed. You know, it's just like a little weed. So we're going to be okay. Got some roses, can make some beautiful dry rose, like for baths and things like that. Because I mean, it's organic, basically. Doesn't have anything on it. I don't put anything on it. Have some calendula.
Wow.
So good for the summer energy we're coming into. Today is the summer solstice, y'all. I forgot about that. First day of summer. Have some, are they called nasturtiums? Have you heard of those?
No, what are they?
They're edible flowers.
Yes,
Edible flowers, and then of course cucumbers and stuff like that. But we mostly focused on medicinal herbs. I'm also growing some white sage. Yeah. So that's the garden.
That's a beautiful garden. And you see, people, you have to use your environment for the greater good. Like, use it for what you have. Like, start. I mean, I can't say it enough. Start. No excuses. Start and manifest something. You know, doing a garden, having medicinal herbs, having, you know, herbs that you also use in for spices and, you know, cucumbers, your food. Just do it. You know, just do it. Whether you're in an apartment, you know, if you have a balcony, go ahead and put those plants, you know, on the balcony. You know, if you don't have a balcony, there's things that you can grow inside, but just start and stop, you know, making excuses. It can happen. It can work.
Be a part of a community garden, go to different events. Even if you just support farmers markets.
Yes.
Try your best to just get things locally.
Yes.
Maybe you're like, I don't have the time, I'm working, I'm doing all this. Okay, whatever.
Yes.
You know, get you a little aloe vera plant, keep it in your house, be real cute.
They're low maintenance.
Water it every now and then.
I know.
Do that and support local artisans, keep everything local. If you can't do that, just anything, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Share this channel.
And you can even talk to other like farmers, and they will just give you information. You know, just talk to the local farmers on what they're doing, and you might even be able to collaborate. But it's true. You just have to, they have a great support system. And I'm having a great rapport with the gardeners. They're all loving and they're full of life and they're just, you know, into sharing. So just do it.
Yeah, that inspired me. Every Trailblazer we interview is inspires me and motivates me even more.
Yeah.
No excuses. So anybody, if you have an excuse, throw it out the window, trash. Because if you're not resourceful and use what you have now, then you'll never have in your mind that you can use what's right in front of you. So if you can't see it, you better find a way to see it. Time is running out.
Yeah, what is that when you just said you can't use what's in front of you? It made me think about that quote that's like, you have everything you need. And if you needed more, you would have more. And you're wondering, I need this, no, use what you have. Some people, what if you don't have the money to start a garden? Okay, start planting a garden. Just plant it.
Yes.
Just sit down and say, I want to grow these things. What grows good with this?
Right.
What size container do I need? Or how much of a plot do I need to get? About how much is it going to cost? Just plan it.
Yes. Yes.
And in the midst of you planning it, you might run into somebody that's going to give you everything you need.
Right. You just have to take action.
Anything. Do anything.
I want to leave just a little quote. I probably said this quote a couple of times before, but you're going to get used to it, okay? So this quote is from like Nikola Tesla. Wait, do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Okay, bet. So this is his quote. So pretty much it says, let the future tell the truth and evaluate each according to his work and accomplishments. The present is theirs and the future for which I have really worked is mine. And on that note, I appreciate interviewing you and have a blessed day. Peace, love, and light. Anything you want to add, Mother?
That's it. And also check out her channel.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll put all of her handles. I speak life into everything you're doing. And I look forward to speaking with you again. And I'll share what we're doing here as well in Senegal.